Welcome back. I am going to try my best to explain technical analysis and my perspective on the market. And I hope you all learn and trying to make you to be able to stay profitable in crypto short and long term at all times. We've been doing very, very well on this channel. Hopefully you all have been learning a lot and making a lot of gains. But we are we are neither bear or bulls on this channel. We're strictly unemotional, and we follow the charts and the trends. That's how you stay the most successful. I can promise you that. But you can never predict where the market's going to go 100%, obviously. I mean, we just try to do our best with technical analysis and trying to kind of see where this news is heading and see what other narratives can be spun. But really make sure to have your stop losses in place. It's a necessity as the volatility and the volatility in crypto is very, very high, and it must be done to be successful short term and make gains long term, especially if you guys have been buying in the past 3 to 4 months. I'm going to show you guys some of the strategies I use, but before I do, we're going to get into some news events. And trust me, I know news is boring, but hear me out on this. I know you guys have all heard of El Salvador's plan on adopting Bitcoin. This sounds great in theory, right? But it sounds great in a news article, but this can actually lead to serious implications down the road. And I'm looking at this from an unemotional standpoint, from a different point of view, which you guys have to be able to do. But it's great to see a company, or a country actually, adopting crypto, right? We can all agree on that. But there's going to be somehow a bad narrative that could be spun off on this in the future. I have nothing against countries at all, right? I'm just simply unbiased and looking at this from a different point of view. But first of all, we did not see a dip in Bitcoin while this news was out there, or we did not see a pump. We saw a dip when El Salvador passed this plan, right, on adopting Bitcoin. But normally, if this was a larger news event that had more serious implications, we would see the price dramatically increase within a short period of time, normally right after that news being out. But that's besides the point of that. You guys have to understand that this world is not a perfect place. YouTube's not a perfect place. Nothing's really perfect, right? There's a lot of corruptness out there. And not every idea is as perfect as it might seem in theory or in the news. But without that being said, right, El Salvador is the first country to adopt Bitcoin. That's great to see, but my view on later bad implications to this is El Salvador can be regarded as, I guess you could say, somewhat of a third world country because their GDP is very low and they have serious corruptness in their country. Right, so they have many drug problems, violence problems, money laundering, and I could see this have a serious problem with crypto, as we know that these narratives get spun off on crypto all the time, right? Problems can arise with Bitcoin due to this narrative, right? This can basically go to, them being the poster child for Bitcoin adoption, being this great country, and then them being the poster child that's doing these terrible things with Bitcoin and with crypto. So just that being said, right, having the first country that is adopting Bitcoin have this many issues can shed a serious problem and really scare these countries or investors from Bitcoin or from crypto, as news outlets can have this spins completely the opposite direction as they do now. And that being said, El Salvador is extremely corrupt. There's no looking past that, and making them the poster child for adoption can literally lead to some sort of bad news events. But this could ruin some sort of view on this, I believe, probably short to midterm, maybe 3 months, 2 months from now, 6 months from now. I'm just saying, be prepared for that. Don't always read these news articles. You guys got to look at them from a different point of view, as you always should be. But let's get into some of these news articles just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so here we go. Here's El Salvador becomes the first approved Bitcoin as legal currency. Celebration, and that's great. I love to see it. I'm not trying to hate on this too much, but I'm just giving you guys a different point of view, right? So there's other countries that are thinking about passing Bitcoin, which is great. But a lot of these countries that are thinking about passing Bitcoin, They have serious issues with their government. They've had a lot of corruption in the past, and not all of them, right? Not all of them, but I would say the majority of them do. And I'm not saying these countries are bad in any way, right? I am just trying to say that there could be a view, another view on this, where there could be serious consequences that could face crypto if bad news comes about from adopting cryptos in these countries. That being said, if these countries had a higher up on the list on their GDP, their gross domestic product, basically ranking their country on how high are they on this list of countries that have a large economic structure. This could be a better thing, but we're mainly seeing these lower countries. Yes, we're seeing Mexico, Argentina, but there's still some corruption that could be about with this. Bad articles that get spin off. Just saying, I've been in crypto since 2016. I've seen how these news outlets can do this, and they could change very, very quickly. All it takes is 1 to 2 articles, so be very careful and conscientious of that. But I wish I could be a lot more bullish about the situation. But I don't believe, from my perspective, that this will be that good of news 3 to 6 months from now if something comes about from this, right? So I'm just saying, always look into the other side of things. This was basically talking about how El Salvador's president ties with the MS-13 gang and a bunch of other drug operations, and on the U.S. lists of officials deemed to be corrupt. But you won't see that in the news for Bitcoin because they want this thing to look beautiful. They want it to be the poster child. But these news outlets can change very, very quickly. Same news article that posted this article posted how great this Bitcoin thing was not too long ago. This was in 2018, by the way. But without further ado, let's get into the TA, guys. What do we see? All right, so we see this push with Bitcoin upwards, right? We've just seen it break trend lines after trend line after trend line. It still hasn't broken this bottom trend line right here. It actually just did for a second. We'll see if it can retest as of right now. But on a larger standpoint scale, we've been seeing Bitcoin test this trend line right here, where we've had lots of touches off this trend line. Couldn't break through. It tested, and then we saw this just turn downwards. And you guys have to understand, this isn't retail investors investing in Bitcoin. This is these large whales that are trying to suck a lot of money out of the market, make as much money as they can. You guys got to understand, these retail investors like you and me, right? We can't push up Bitcoin, 5% in around 33 minutes. They're doing this to liquidate shorts. They're doing this to make a lot of liquidity very, very fast by pumping up the market in these spikes, as Bitcoin's extremely over leveraged. Which means, let's say they leverage out the markets. They figure out, okay, so we have $100 million that are being leveraged on 10x leverage. Let's pump it up, 5-10%, liquidate them all, and we will get around 5 to 10% more, because we won't need to use as much money, because when these shorts get liquidated, the market will spike up dramatically, right? So we see that happen all the time. Institutional candles, we call them, because those aren't retail candles, right? These aren't retail candles. But now we're on some sort of downtrend on the short time frame. And yes, we will be looking at this on the longer time frame, but the short time frame is very important when we're having these large pumps that happen very, very dramatically. You guys got to understand these green candles right here. Very, very, very rare to see these a lot. I do think that once we break this trend line, we're going to have a serious dip. We always do in crypto, so it's just how things work. We're still kind of bouncing off of it a little bit, but we'll have to see what happens throughout the day. But I am a little bit bearish. That's just kind of what the TA is showing. We're overbought right now, and that's just what indicators are showing me. This is what these charts are showing me. I wish we were bullish. I wish we can pump to 50K, 60K. But if the charts aren't showing me it, I'm not going to follow it, right? I was bullish, guys, when we were down here. We got some great buy orders for anyone who was upset about me turning to bearish. We were bullish down here. We got some great buy orders in down there, and once we had this, once we have these trend lines broke, we're going to be bearish again, because when trend lines break, we get bearish, right? Oh, look at we just kind of broke it as of right now. We'll have to see if that's just a test, but we'll be looking back into it. We know that we're not in altcoin season anymore. I made a video about it. Not too many of you guys were impressed with my altcoin season is over video. But it's okay, guys. It's other YouTubers are saying it, so it's a great thing now. But we were talking about how altcoin season, we saw this dramatic rise in Bitcoin. Altcoins aren't pumping anymore, right? Altcoins aren't pumping anymore, kind of showing you where this narrative is headed, right? I still do see Ethereum as obviously better than Bitcoin. We have that EIP event coming out in the next month or two. Actually, the next month, which will be very, very big. We're just going to have to see how the crypto market reacts to it, right? I do think that we could experience some sort of sell-off with Ethereum from that news event. But I'm just, because everyone has already heard about it. Everyone knows EIP is coming out. But we'll have to see about that. It's just a very, very different narrative has been spun on the markets via Bitcoin. Ethereum can't get their crypto passed in countries. Who knows what's going to happen within the next month when that gets passed? We'll just have to wait and see. But I do still see some sort of market dominance effect on Ethereum if we do have this bear market that incurs. We're still in the bear market, guys. No matter what you say, what you have, which way you're looking at it, we're still in the bear market, right? And who knows how long this will last, right? We're still in a downtrend. It might look like an uptrend here. I mean, guys, look how ridiculously large this candle is right here, right? We're still in a downtrend. We have these dips. We have these large candles. We break the trend line and we switch to bullish to bearishness very, very quickly. And this is why we do these trend lines, right? Because we can catch the vast majority of these dips, the vast majority of these switches in momentum with high volatility very, very quickly. And it's a very, very great strategy to make gains throughout this dip. And yeah, we're still down around 40% in the past 57 days. And we're still on this downtrend from here. So unless we break through this around this 38K and we break this around the 49K, I might consider that we're looking very bullish long term. But I'm telling you, long term right now, we're looking bearish. And short term right now, we're looking bearish. So that's just my opinion. I was bearish yesterday, but I was still holding on to my longs. Why was I holding on to my longs? Because we were waiting for trend lines to break. We were waiting for the momentum to switch. We were just being ready. I want you guys to be ready for these switches in momentum via trend lines, right? You guys have to understand that when these trend lines get broke, once these switches in momentum happen, we normally have a very, very violent either push upwards or downwards. The quicker that we normally go up, the quicker that we normally go down. The quicker that we go, down, the quicker that we go up normally, right? We saw some sort of this happen here. We've seen it happen here. We've seen it happen all the way back here, right? Happens all the time, guys. And this is just something that if you guys pick up on this and you guys are ready for this, like we have been on this channel, you guys will be a lot more successful than a lot of these other people that are in crypto, and I can promise you that, because they are not ready, right? They are not ready. You guys don't need to be doing that much of trading, right? Just trade these trend lines. That's all you guys have to do. Trade these trend lines. When they break, short. When they break on the downside, shorts. When they break on the upside, long. Set very tight stop losses. Only set your stop loss 1 to 2% above this trend line, because what if it pushes back through? Then, you're fine, right? You're fine. And wait for it to dip around 1 to 2% below the trend line, so you know that the trend is clear, and then you shorts, right? You could do this on the shorter time frame. You could do this on the longer time frame. We're going to be getting into indicators that I use to trade with here today. But for right now, yep, looking a little bit bearish. Looks like we're overbought. We bounced off this. We could not hold it. New York opens. New York, right? They're normally bearish. When New York opens, I would say 9 times out of 10, they're going to short the market. And that's what we saw with New York, right? New York pushed this down. They said, nope, you're not breaking that. London said, we're testing. New York said, nope. So we know that these institutions are getting a little bit bearish right now, at least New York is. They're liquidating all of these longs, and we're going to see how that pans out. But as of right now, looking a little bearish. Let's be completely honest with ourselves, right? So let's get into KSM. We saw that KSM had this large push downwards. When you see these cryptos, guys, when you see these market leaders go up around 50% in one day, we were able to trade some of this around these areas, but KSM was overbought. How do you guys know something is overbought, right? If you guys are in a crypto and you see this trend line being broke, right? You see this trend line being broke right around here, you guys would know, oh, we're probably overbought, right? And when Bitcoin is going up and these alts aren't doing anything, right? Bitcoin goes up, let's say Bitcoin goes up 2%. In altcoin season, we normally see these alts, right? They do around 1.5x or 2x what's Bitcoin is doing, right? 1.5x to 2x, right? So they will either go up around, let's say, 3% or 4%, right? I know that doesn't look like a 3. Give me a break. Give me a breather. Or 4%, right? So what did we see with KSM? It wasn't moving, guys. It really wasn't moving when Bitcoin was moving. And that's a serious implication or serious kind of view that you could see that this is overbought, right? This crypto is overbought. And we're seeing all of these cryptos have the same sort of effect, or most of them, right? We'll go on CoinMarketCap and we'll go check that out. As of yesterday, we saw that. We were talking about it. Just means that these cryptos are overbought, right? And that shows that not much volatility is happening with these cryptos. Altcoin season is not in full effect anymore. And we're probably going to see some bearishness within these altcoins, because if they're not going up a lot, they're probably going to go down a lot when Bitcoin takes these dips, Bitcoin takes these dives. The whole point of altcoin season is to have these altcoins outperform Bitcoin and to make as much gains as you can. And if that's not happening, right? If that's not happening, we're not in altcoin season anymore, and we're not going to be making as much gains as we can off of these altcoins. So we're really going to need to change our strategy up here. And changing strategy is going to be key to make as much gains as you can. And we want to stay, being ahead of everyone else. We want to be the most successful we can in crypto. And what we're going to be doing, right, is we're just going to be trading trend lines and using basic indicators to show changes in momentum. And we're going to be looking for the most volatile coins, if any. But as of right now, I can guarantee you that these coins are going to go down quicker than they go up, as we've seen that happen, right? When Bitcoin goes down 1%, these coins will go down 2%. So we're just seeing the momentum change. Imagine if you're looking at, let's say this, right? Every time Bitcoin goes down 2%, these coins do 1.5x, or these coins do 2x, right? That's kind of what we're seeing as of right now, just on the downside. So we're just kind of changing this narrative of we're in altcoin season. We're just in altcoin season on the downside. And this is kind of a strategy that is frowned down upon. But it's just what we're seeing right now. And that's kind of my strategy. I'm not trying to be the ultimate bearish person. I'm just unemotional. And I see that there's more gains in the market going downwards as there is upwards. And we will be getting into some portfolio management. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, being liquid in your portfolio, having the ability to have freedom at all times in a volatile market like there is crypto right now, where we're still in this downtrend, is key, right? Just you guys don't need to be trading every day. You guys could just buy or sell at these large trend breaks, and you guys will be a lot more. You guys will be, I can guarantee you will be more successful than 90% of these other retailers in crypto, and 100% of all these other hodlers that are out there. And no offense against the hodlers. I get you guys do not have enough time to get into crypto, and you guys can hodl, right? You guys can hodl, and I will give you some great buying orders once we reach some sort of bottom. But as of right now, we're showing not too much momentum on the upside with these altcoins, just with Bitcoin, right? What happens if there's some bad news that gets out on Bitcoin? We talked about that. It is possible. But just try and keep an open mind, right? Just try and keep an open mind. And make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so what do we see with Telcoin? Telcoin is another one that's, we had push in Bitcoin. We didn't really see much happen with Telcoin, right? Yes, we saw Telcoin go up 50%. We always trade Telcoin because we know the volatility is there in Telcoin. But not much really happens with Telcoin. We didn't see them push over. Just another sign of one of our most volatile coins on these dips. Didn't really do much after. A little bit upsetting, but it's just something to take into consideration. Just another fact, right? Yes, some of these coins will still pump with news. Yes, some of these undervalued coins will still pump. But it's not going to be nearly as much pumpage as we had over the past 3 months. It's going to be more on the downside, right? And until we see some sort of reversal, until we see some sort of pattern switch, we're just going to stick to that narrative because that's what the charts are showing us. That's what our strategies are showing us. And yep, that's just how it is, right? So most of these coins that had insane run-ups are down the most today, right? So these coins that were overbought are down the most for the most part, right? Matic's still at 39 cents, guys. I mean, Last time we saw Manic this low, we saw actually we saw what push was it? I believe it was down here, right? It's very, very quick pushes up. I think we're just going to see some of these coins that have been pumped up. Matic, for example, KSM. Let's go through some coins that I believe that are a little bit overbought. I'm not trying to get bearish. I'm just saying these are overbought coins. You know, they're a little bit overvalued at least. Let's just see how Cardano's doing. I'm not saying Cardano's overvalued, but let's just see how they're doing. $1.50, not much more price action. They were at $1.60. They couldn't really break out of this once Bitcoin pumped up, right? We saw this change in Cardano, right? Over the past while, right? So we'll see if they can pump back up again when Bitcoin pumps up. But my guess is no. I don't think so. I think these coins are out of volume, right? And we went over a strategy when trend lines break. It's a great thing. Also, everyone in the Discord that's trading Luna, great for you guys. Great for you guys. We saw Luna go parabolic, and I know a lot of you guys are into the Luna thing. Luna correlates with Bitcoin very closely. If any of you guys are trading noobs, do some TA on Luna, right? Do some technical analysis on Luna, and you guys will learn a lot, because this coin is, I would say it's a great coin for anyone who's just getting out into crypto. Don't trade it, just do technical analysis on it, draw trend lines, draw support, draw resistance, maybe paper trade it with fake money and trade it. But this is a great coin for you guys to start trading. But we saw Luna go extremely volatile. This one did exactly what it did kind of the last dips. But overall, guys, these coins are not able to catch up to what they were doing on these last dips. Why is that? Okay, why is that? Well, the theory of mine is you could only buy so many times as a retail investor, right? You guys can only buy and hodl so many times as a retail investor, correct? And what do we see? Well, we see these retail investors, they've been told to buy, hodl the dip. How many times, right? They did it once, they did it twice, they did it 3 times, they did it 4 times, right? They did it 5 times, they did it 6 times, right? So 6 times these people have been buying, hodling, maybe taking some sort of profits. But they're not, how many times can these retail investors buy, right? We're going to need to see some institution plays come out here. And what if El Salvador kind of corrupts that institutional hodl standpoints? And what if these institutions don't even want to get into crypto? They just want to trade like we see now. I'm not seeing too much bullishness unless we really do break out, but I don't see the possibility of us breaking out because everyone has already bought in, right? We have all these retailers who have already bought and hodled multiple times, and they can only buy so many times before they're out of money, right? And this is why it's very, very important for you guys to take your profits when you get them, and to not get greedy. To not get away with setting stop losses. You guys need to be setting stop losses if you're on this channel. You can do that on Binance. You can do that on multiple applications. Just go on Reddit, how to set stop losses. You can figure it out. But this is just some sort of signal that's how many times can you guys buy as a retail investor, right? I know it sucks, right? You guys have bought in many times. You've gotten screwed over many times. But I think these retail investors are running out of gas, as you guys can tell by the volume, right? Look at this dip. Look how low the volume is compared to these dips, right? You see how the volume's a lot more, a lot higher there. That means there's more money being poured into these dips, right? The less money that's being poured into these dips means the less money there is in the market, right? And yes, we saw a lot of this happen, but this was mainly institutional money. I mean, this was institutional money here. But we'll have to see how this pans out. This was something that can be reversed very, very quickly, just giving you guys some sort of unbiased kind of talk on this, all right? But yeah, we'll be going over some altcoins that are undervalued over the next couple of days. But as of right now, I feel like there's not much reason for me to talk about most of them, as these altcoins aren't pumping as much as they really should be. You know, we don't see too much, I guess you could say, pumpage throughout the markets. We saw Bitcoin Gold, we saw Bitcoin Diamonds take off for whatever reason. We saw Terra, AMP as well. I mean, Polkadot, Kusama. But these coins are having a very, very hard time, guys. A very hard time competing with Bitcoin. So it's just something to remind you guys that we are in not the most volatile time for altcoins. All right, so I think that we got to get into some TA on some of these altcoins, right? Drink some water. All right, Luna is on fire. Yes, it is. How about we do some TA on Luna? All right, I'm going to be doing videos to teach you guys how to do technical analysis. I'm going to make it very, very simple. We will get into indicators, but before we get into indicators, let's just draw some trend lines, some basic trend lines, right? We're going to go on the 2 hours here, right? So we saw that we had this trend line of Luna going on this downward spiral, right? And what happens once we break this downward spiral that we saw here with Luna? You normally want to look for 3 to 4 touches with these trend lines. You want the top to be touched 3 to 4 times for that to be a feasible trend line. But we saw this push downwards with Luna, right? We saw this push down with Luna. And we knew that this trend had to break at some point. Once it did break, this is where we would be putting in our buy orders, right? Around these 2 candlesticks right here. And that would have been around like 10 to probably around 16 to 17%. But I would have honestly sold some around here because I'm scared, or I just didn't want the market to reverse on me and dump on me. But that's just how we're going to be trading these lines. And yeah, sometimes it doesn't work perfectly, but you still get, you know, some sort of percentage that's stacked up into your portfolio. But Luna's a very, very easy crypto to trade. I would just say starting off with trend lines is one of the most perfect examples of some basic trading that's extremely easy for some of you guys that understand it. But I would have drawn a trend line like this as well on the shorter time frame, and once we broke that, I would have probably bought in again, set a very tight stop loss of around 1 to 2% on all of these trades. So we didn't see this dip really below 1 to 2%. On these sort of trend lines. So let's see how low this dip was. Would we have gone? Yep, we would have gone cracked out on that one. But yeah, so just trading off of these trend lines, that would have been around 20% overall on this one trade in the matter of just a few days, right? But Luna, as of right now, it looks a little bit overbought, right? It's pumping up quite a lot, and I don't think these coins are going to be able to break these highs that they had after these dips, right? So maybe Luna will go to $6 to $7, but it is going to come back down. I can guarantee you guys that. So really make sure to set your stop losses. And I'm not saying 100%, but with the volume on these coins, it shows that they're dying off in volume, right? They're dying off in volume. They're dying off with liquidity, money being dumped into them, being traded into them. So very important for you guys to understand that side of things, right? All right, so any more questions that you guys have? All right. We'll go to VET. We'll go into VeChain. All right. No, I'm not tired, guys. I'm not tired. I actually got some sleep last night. Slept great last night. I'm not physically or mentally drained. I can promise you guys that. I'm not physically or mentally drained until we have a stable market for at least a couple weeks, right? So we saw VeChain break through this trend line right here. So this is where I would probably be entering my shorter rounds right here. And setting that tight stop loss, and you guys could also set that trailing stop loss as well. What's a trailing stop loss? It's a stop loss, right, where it follows your order, right? So let's say you put a T stop loss. We're just gonna say T stop loss, trailing stop loss of, let's just say you guys did 5%, right? So this means if you go up 5%, right, that stop loss is now at 0, right? You're at 0. So if it hits that, you don't make any money, don't lose any money. And it follows it automatically, so you could sleep good at night knowing that you have a trailing stop loss on and that you're not going to lose more than 5%. And if it goes into profit, it's just going to follow it up. So if your crypto goes to around 10%, your stop loss will be moved to 5% in profit, right? So that's a great thing to have, great thing to learn. There's some websites that allow you to do it. I would look on Reddit, ask Reddit. Reddit's your friends. Reddit's great for crypto, guys. It's just look at multiple sources on Reddit, and that's a great thing to do. But we saw VeChain, right? Saw VeChain have this trend downwards. What happened? It broke through it. Probably would have been putting in the long around here. See how much profits you guys would have made just from this basic trend line. There's 12% right there. -5, we'll just say that's 8% because then you would have added this short in there. There's 5%. I would put your trailing stop loss around 4.2%. Just matters what the volatility is. On VeChain, I would have probably done 4.2% because I have a trailing stop loss type of calculator that measures the volume. You guys don't need that, especially when we have these large pushes downwards and you guys are looking at the larger time frame. I would just say 4 to 5%, right? To be completely safe. So what else? What other cryptos you guys want me to go into? We'll go into Polkadot. Yeah, I haven't been physically drained, guys, since around 2019. That was my rest year. That bear market of late 2018 to 2019. That was when I was very very rested up, guys. I was resting then, and didn't have much to do then. Oh, those were the days. Though. Still a lot of volatility in a bear market, right? Still a lot of volatility, and you guys know what? Because you're on this channel, you guys are very, very fortunate, and I'm not trying to be arrogant or anything, but we have some of the best researchers in this community, right? Or in this YouTube thing. We have people that are doing research projects all the time. We're going to find the best cryptos to acquire during a bear market. We're going to be able to get these 50x's, these 25x's, these 100x's in a bear markets because we have hundreds and hundreds of people that are scouring and scraping these small cap to these mid cap or whatever it might be cryptos that have large potential in the future. And that's the beautiful thing about this community is we're going to be successful during a bear market, right? I can guarantee you that we will find these coins that will pull off 25, 50, 100x's if we do enter a bear market. So do not be worried, okay? Be excited because you guys are going to get some of the best cryptos, I can guarantee you, at the lowest prices if we are in a bear market. And it will suck for a little bit, but life will get better, and I know it will. All right, so if I buy now and hodl till next bull, I won't make money. I have a salary, so I keep buying the dip as well. Will that work at dollar cost averaging? I mean, it matters how much you're buying the dip, right? If you're buying these dips over and over and over, yes, I think by next bull market, we probably will be above that, but that's a while to wait. And from my perspective, if you could put in a few hours, maybe an hour or two every other day or an hour a day, you can have the ability to set these stop losses and understand that this market keeps on dipping, right? We have a market that just keeps on dropping. And this is what we're seeing, right? It's still in a downtrend. So we probably still could experience some lower lows with all these altcoins and with Bitcoin. So I would really consider setting these stop losses. Because if you keep on buying the dip, right, what if it just keeps on going down until we show in a sizable uptrend, right? I think that's one of the main concerns with a lot of people is they don't understand that we're in a downtrend still, right? With Polkadot, this is a downtrend, guys. It's still a downtrend, a little bit of an uptrend right here, but we still have a downtrend from this top right here. And you guys got to understand, we're still in a downtrend, right? We still do not have confirmation that we're out of this dip. We see volume going down, liquidity being poured into the market, right? It's going down, and it's been going down at a steady pace. So this is showing somewhat that we are entering some sort of bear market. Bear market's not a scary word. I'm telling you, if you guys have some money on the sidelines and you guys are prepared for this, bear markets make you successful. Bear markets make you the most amount of gains you can get. I've been very, very fortunate to participate in 2 bear markets, and they were some of the best times of my life financial-wise. Being able to get these cryptos at these low cost is something that is absolutely, it's life-changing, guys. And people don't want to talk about that. A lot of people on YouTube, they bought during the bear market, and they understand the significance of it. But I'm telling you guys right now that I will be here and I will be giving you guys the best cryptos that are extremely undervalued. We have hundreds of people researching on it in this community, creating these presentations. It's beautiful. Understanding the people who are invested into these projects, right? Understanding their use case and ranking them is going to be a blast to do during the bear market, getting these best prices on them. But the bear market will be the best opportunity of your life if we do have one for sure. I'm not going to say we have one or we do have one, but on the charts, it's looking like we're entering one. It has been for the past 2 months, 3 months. Actually 2 months. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, man, if you're dollar cost averaging, just be very careful, man. Be very careful. Understand that we still are in a downtrend, right? We still are in a downtrend. As of right now, we do have these pumps, right? If you just draw trend lines every day, you look at it, maybe you set on your phone trading view alerts when we cross a certain level. You set that trend line, you get alerted on your phone, and you know when to buy and when to sell via your phone notifications with these trend lines. And you're just looking at it a few times a day, right? That's a very, very good strategy for some of you guys that don't have too much time, right? But we have a lot of people in the Discord that are in there 10 hours a day, hundreds of people that are in there 10 to 15 hours a day, all working for the same goal, to help you guys and to help everyone who's involved in the bear market, right? And also help us in the current market. So you guys are getting the best of both worlds. All right, one. Stop the FUD. All right, guys. FUD. Yeah. It was FUD at 4. It was FUD at 50. It was FUD at 40. It was FUD at 35. It was FUD at 25. FUD. I don't understand that word. There should be a reversal FUD word where it's like FUD against people who are spreading too much bullishness in the market, telling everyone to buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. I guess buying the dip every single time is FUD, right? It's buying the dip without a stop loss. HODL is FUD, in my opinion. A lot of these retailer investors are getting hurt from it, and just FUD. All right, so I do like Harmony's one's use case, but let's go check how they've kind of performed during these dips. I know they did really good off of this bottom dip right here. We saw this, guys. Look at this, around 100%. We saw some coins do some more from there, but it's just in this downtrend still. These altcoins are still in this downtrend, right? They're not able to break these highs right here, right? We'll just put that there. They're not able to break out of these, and we're just seeing this downtrend continue. Not enough liquidity is going into them. All right, so Duff instead of FUD. All right, yeah, so this is basically what we're seeing with Harmony. It's just in a descending pattern, but on the short term, there's not enough volatility, guys. Look at Harmony's volatility, right? Let's go into bull market volatility, right? This is what happens in the bull market. You guys see these little candlesticks down here, just another example. I would not be looking at buying this just because the volatility for short-term profits. I mean, look at that bull market volatility compared to this bear market volatility, right? You guys understand that this is the liquidity in the market. There's not enough liquidity. People have bought the dip, they bought the dip, they bought the dip again, and they don't have any more money to buy the dip, right? Or else they would have pushed this volatility up, this liquidity would be up in all of these projects, right? So this is showing that the amount of money that is in the market, this is not FUD, that it's slowing down. Unless we see some dramatic spikes in this volume, it's going to keep on going down because there's not enough money to help support it. So that's basically where we're at in this moment. Not FUD, guys. Continue to buy the dip if you guys want to, but I would say to trade the dip as there's not too much liquidity in the market for it to have sustainable gains. Until we see volume go up, until we see these highs broken, just be very careful, be very conscientious, trying to take some of my views on the market into fruition. I'm just trying to give you guys a different perspective on the channel. It's kind of my perspective, and I do this quite often. Not saying I do this more than you, but I'm just saying that try and take a different perspective. It can help, right? It really can help. But we see some sort of downtrend ensuring with Harmony. This could be a good buy in the bear market, but we'll have to see, guys. When do you buy in a bear market, guys? Let's go into this. Let's show you the life-changing gains you guys could get in a bear market, right? So Harmony. What did Harmony do? Harmony pulled off a 50x in around 180 days. Harmony pulled off a 50x, 55x. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been in crypto for around, let's say, 3-6 months, possibly. So you guys have been in here for around 90 to 180 days. Imagine if you guys had a 50x on some of these coins, right? This is some of the gains you guys can get. I'm not saying it's going to happen in 180 days. It might take a year, it might take 2, but you guys will be able to buy these coins at these low levels. This is called the accumulation phase. This is where most of you guys bought in. Not trying to make fun of you. I'm just saying that some of you guys bought in here, right? It happens. And what happens when you guys, when these people have bought in all the way down here, they're up 55x, right? And they're going to be selling up here, right? They're still up 16x from the current levels that we're at, 15x even. And a lot of you guys are down 60, 70%. It's very, very great to buy and hold when we're in this accumulation phase. Yes, you might be able to break all-time highs, and you might be able to make a lot more money in the long run, or not in the long run, but you might be able to be profitable in the next 2 years, year or so, however long it might be, but that's just speculation. But all I'm saying is, if you guys are waiting for these patient opportunities to buy when we reach these low levels, you guys have the ability to really make life-changing gains. And that's the beautiful part of the accumulation phase, of the cycle phase. It's just something, if you guys stick around here, you stay here long, I promise you, you guys will make life-changing gains. Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of trial, tribulation, fear, and work that goes into it. But it's a fun process, guys. It's fun. You guys will have some more fun doing it. If you're in the Discord, you'll meet some people. We were really building a community in there. It's been great. You guys are going to have an assignment to do soon on some TA. We're going to go over some indicators. Going to be doing some tutorial videos, really teaching you guys some more knowledge and going over that the next couple weeks. But yeah, that's basically it. There's another representation. The market's kind of looking a little bit bearish right now. I will be going over some altcoins in a separate video today. But just got to be very careful. Approach the market with caution. Approach these YouTube videos with caution. Don't believe everything everyone says, even me, right? But yeah, just be very cautious, guys. You guys always want to have your own view, your own perspective on the market. I know you might not know too much about crypto. A lot of people come to YouTube to learn and to understand. And I'm just showing you guys a different perspective of someone that does crypto quite a lot, hangs out with people who do crypto a lot. And not saying that makes me superior in knowledge. I'm just saying this gives me a different perspective, right? And I hope you guys understand that, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I will be active on this channel. I'm going to be posting more, so look forward to that, getting back into the swing of things, and happy that you guys are here with me. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe.